Statement by Burris that he wants the appointment to replace Barack Obama in the U.S. Senate. A clear statement by the governor's brother that he wants Burris to raise money for the governor. A clear statement by Burris that he will give to the governor's campaign personally and hold a fundraiser to raise more funds under the name of his law partner. A clear statement by Burris that if he raised money for the governor but didn't get the appointment to fill President Obama's Senate seat, he'd be in a dilemma with his own money people. Senator Roland Burris will be on the line with me in an exclusive interview to explain those statements, which are on the FBI tape. We'll also have two Streetwise Chicago reporters joining us here to vet the tape conversation between Rod Blagojevich, the governor's brother, and Senator Burris, and look at the legal and political challenges they create for the senator. Plus, the battle over Sotomayor. Both liberal and conservative interest groups are out there agitating for and against President Obama's Supreme Court pick. We've got two to fight it out here. We begin with Senator Roland Burris. Senator Burris, thank you very much for joining us. You've been on the show before. You're on the phone from Decatur, Illinois. Let me play for you an audio clip where Governor Blagojevich's brother Robert talks to you about building up his war chest. This is back last October, and you expressed interest in getting Obama's Senate seat. Let's listen.
We've had a number of conversations about, you know, anything you might be able to do, you and Fred might be able to do here before the end of the year for Rod. Again, we're trying to get as much as we can in his war chest so that when he has to, you know, disclose in January.
Sure. Senator, what was that conversation about?
Well, Chris, naturally, it was a normal fundraising conversation. I had supported the governor in previous fundraising events, and his brother was fundraising. That's what they do in terms of getting prepared for his run for re-election. And I had not only supported him, but during that period, I had supported other candidates. I told the governor's brother when he called earlier to call me back after November because I was supporting other candidates for the November election. And he called me back after the election. And, of course, by that time, I had become very concerned about my interest in getting appointed to the Senate seat, as well as, you know, how could I help him with fundraising. And I come to the conclusion, Chris, that that was not really a wise thing to do, that I could not give money to the governor because I was interested in being appointed to the Senate seat. So in the bottom line, there was no money ever given, nor was there any money ever raised.
You told me back in January 16th on this program, on the record, Senator, that they'd never sought anything from you with regard to the Senate seat. And there we have on the tape here a long conversation with the governor's brother asking you to raise money and you talking about it at length. How can you say that they never sought anything from you?
No, Chris, in terms of that situation, that question never did come up in terms of what the governor was looking for from me. I mean, I stated unequivocally to them that it would be a conflict. I even said, without knowing that this was being taped or knowing anything about pay to play, that if I gave any money to the governor, it would look like I was trying to buy the seat. So based on that, we had really no type of improprieties, no type of inconsistency.
Okay.
Sure.
Let me get the statement. Are you saying that the governor's brother never asked you to raise money?
Oh, sure. Yes, he asked me to raise money.
Okay. Are you saying that that you didn't tell the governor's brother that you wanted to be appointed to the Senate?
I most certainly did, and that's where the conflict come in. And
okay,
so
here's a conflict. Here's how you explain the conflict. Let's listen to the clip here where you talk about being in a dilemma, wanting to help the governor, but you have this dilemma, and here's how you explain it on the FBI tape.
Sure.
Now I'm trying to figure out how to deal with this and still be in the consideration for the appointment.
I hear you. No, I hear you.
And if I do that, I guarantee you that that will get out, and people say, oh, Burris is doing a fundraiser, and then Rod and I are both going to catch hell.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do get appointed, that means I bought it. If I don't get appointed, then my people who I'm trying to raise money from are going to look at me and say, you know, what was that all about, Roland? I mean, so, Rob, I'm in a dilemma right now wanting to help the governor.
Why would it be a dilemma for you to raise money for Blagojevich and not get the Senate seat if there's not a quid pro quo, a play-to-pay deal here? Why would it be a dilemma for you, Senator, not to get the Senate seat after raising money for Blagojevich?
Chris, it's a very simple process. I was always supportive of the governor. What I was torn from is the fact that I couldn't help the governor, and if I helped him, it would create a dilemma for me because if I helped him and then I got appointed, and by the way, I wasn't even on the governor's radar. I didn't get the governor wasn't even thinking about me. I wasn't number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And, Chris, if the governor had not been arrested, I never would have been appointed to that seat. I did not know that.
But why is it a dilemma? Again, Senator, with all respect, why is it a dilemma for you if you don't get a Senate seat after you raise money for this guy? Why is that a dilemma?
Chris,
if it's not a quid pro quo?
No, it's not a quid pro quo. The dilemma was the fact that I wanted to try to help the governor, and I couldn't because I wanted to get appointed to the seat. That's clear. If I helped him, then I would be involved in some quid pro quo. But I wanted to help him, and I couldn't.
No, but you said that, no, there's no doubt that you said that earlier, but this is how you conclude your dilemma. And if I don't get appointed, then my people who are trying to raise money, I'm trying to raise money from, are going to look at me, yeah, what's that all about, Roland? I mean, Rob, I'm in a dilemma. In other words, if you don't get the job that you raised the money for, your people are going to be mad at you because they didn't get the Senate seat you're supposed to get out of this deal. How is that not incriminating?
And, Chris, let me tell you simply this. The people who I talked to, and the only people I ever raised money for the governor was my partner inside the office. The most we ever gave the governor was $5,000. So there's no way in the world you're going to buy a seat. And I was promising to send my check to the governor, as I've done always, was send him $1,000. Now, if you think that I could buy the Senate seat for $1,000, I think that was a lot of people mistaken.
No, but you went further. Here you are, I'm sorry, Senator, here you are going further than the personal money. Here you are promising personal money and also promising a blind fundraiser using the name of your law partner to avoid being discovered and being involved in this. Here you are talking about what sounds like a conspiracy to hide the money you're getting for the governor. Here it is, your words.
I know I could give him a check myself.
Yeah.
And my law partner, we were going to try to do something at the law firm. I might be able to do this in the name of Tim Wright. Okay, because Tim is not looking for an appointment, okay?
Okay.
So you're going to do a fundraiser through the law firm using your partner's name. Isn't that covering up your involvement in buying a Senate seat?
No, what that word should say that, Tim Wright would give a fundraiser, not, it would be in his name. He would give the fundraiser, not me. But guess what? Tim Wright had already said that he could not give a fundraiser.
Yeah, but you don't understand.
Chris, I was only placating the governor's brother. So that's all I was doing.
Your problem here, Senator, is this is on tape, and it says I might be able to do this in the name of Tim Wright. In other words, you're doing the fundraiser. You're raising the money. You're shaking the trees for money for the governor in his re-election. You're coming up with the money, but you're going to use the name of your partner. That sounds like a conspiracy to withhold your identity in this fundraising scheme.
Chris,
that's what it looks like to a person listening to this.
Yeah, but guess what, Chris? Number one, I did not raise a dime because I knew I couldn't raise any money. And after I hung up the telephone for the conversation, I said I couldn't even give him a check.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't even send my own check. So based on that, there's no violation of any law, no conspiracy here of anything of magnitude because my partner had already stated, on the second telephone call with him, that we could not give any funds because we were interested in getting appointed to the seat. And if we did that, it would look like we were trying to buy the seat. I mean,
okay, let me take it.
Sure.
Here's the problem where it looks like this further on in the conversation, which was taped by the FBI. This is last October, and here you are later on in this conversation between yourself.
That was in November, Chris.
Okay, back in November. Here you are back talking to the governor's brother, where you sort of sum up the two things that are interesting to you here. Let's listen to the way you put this together.
And God knows, number one, I want to help Rod. Number two, I also want to. Hope I get into consideration to get that appointment.
Well, doesn't that sound to the average juror that you're saying you're raising money for the governor and you want the Senate seat as a quid pro quo? Why would you say, number one, I want to help the governor, your brother. Number two, I hope to get this seat in the U.S. Senate. How does that not sound like an offer to raise money to get a job?
Because, Chris, I knew that I had already said before that I could not raise any money because I was interested in getting the seat. And that's what's clear here. I could not raise money. And that's where my dilemma came in. I wanted to help the governor, but because I wanted the seat, I couldn't do it. That's what that means.
No, but it looks to me...
And I did not, Chris. I did not do
I know. I'm only talking about what you said. All I have here is the tape conversation. You said there would be a dilemma if he didn't deliver the job after you raised the money. If you say it's a dilemma for you not to get the job that you raised the money for, that is another strong indication that it was a deal. Look, I'm going to record your words here. I want to play this tape for you one more time, Senator. Give me one more shot at this, because everybody's going to read this in the paper tomorrow and hear this on TV tonight. Here's you explaining why you have a problem raising an open fundraiser for Blagojevich's brother. So in other words, doing this in the open, but why you'd also have a problem if they shut you down and didn't give you the job after you raised the money. This is your further wrinkle here. It looks like you're squeezing this guy. Here it is.